So ask yourself how you want to live your life. Ask yourself what is truly healthy for you, because you know what is truly healthy for you. What makes you happy is healthy for you, and you should stick to what makes you happy. Hi, my name is Yulia. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I wanted to talk about what it means to be healthy, and that it is extremely important to identify your own way of healthy, because what is healthy for me doesn't mean that it is healthy for you or for someone else. So I truly believe that everyone should set their mind on what is truly healthy for them. My understanding on what is healthy for me came from my eating disorder. For many years I was in quasi-recovery, and I didn't realize that. I thought that I was completely healthy, I was eating enough calories, and I was making sure I'm introducing all the most important food groups into my diet. But at the same time, I still had lots of things, lots of rules about food. And basically what I was telling myself, that all those rules that I created are there to make me healthy. Like, I am recovered, but these are just the rules to make me healthy, to make me feel good. I honestly believed that I got rid of my eating disorder, but my eating disorder has actually transformed into a different eating disorder. That was orthorexia, and that was obsession with food. And this is that kind of eating disorder that is always hidden. It is so-called gray area of recovery, because the society doesn't notice it, you don't notice it, because everyone promotes healthy eating, but actually what it does, it again takes life away from you. It makes you even more sick than you have been before. And it's very easy to hide, because when you tell people, I'm going to order a salad and I have the dressing on the side, I put the amount of dressing that I feel is good for me, or who needs burger in a bun when you can have it in a lettuce wrap, or things like this, things that kind of trick you into being healthy and being obsessed with your health. But honestly, all they cause is the harm not only to your physical health, but to your mental health as well. So for these 2 years of being in this gray area of recovery, I honestly believed that I was living my best life, but after some time I started noticing that I just stopped enjoying my life in general. The first thing that happened to me was I stopped going out with friends, and I avoided any social gathering because I didn't know what would be there for me to eat, if they're gonna have anything that contains sugar or white flour, or my forbidden things that I assumed are gonna harm my health, and there would be no turning back. If there will be alcohol, if they're gonna make me drink alcohol, and things like that. So I stopped that. The next thing I've stopped doing was I stopped going to the movie theaters. I used to be obsessed with movie theaters. Every time I went to the movie theater, I got popcorn, or I got some candy, I got chocolates. So now, when I knew that I was not allowed all those things because they harm your health, the fun of going to the movie theater has gone. Not only I stopped going out, I also became very, very isolated, because even if I was not going out, but there was some just social gathering at work, or someone was sharing something, I always felt isolated, because I knew that I couldn't join in, I couldn't share a piece of cake or a muffin or whatever everyone was sharing. I felt extremely disconnected from the people around me. Then I noticed that I started to be very dependent on the gym. I had to go at least 4 times a week, and if I didn't go, I felt extremely guilty. And I believe the most important thing was my mind was always focused on food. Since the moment I woke up till the moment I went to bed, I was always constantly thinking about food. What I'm gonna eat for breakfast, what I'm gonna eat for my snack, can I skip lunch, will it be okay to skip lunch and just have dinner, how many calories this and that is supposed to have, what is the macro ratio that I'm allowed to eat today. all these things, like I was constantly preoccupied with the thoughts about food, and I couldn't concentrate on anything else. I was working, I went to the gym, I came home, all I was thinking was food. And I went to sleep, and it's repeat. Thoughts about food are extremely annoying. They took all my free time. I couldn't enjoy watching TV, I couldn't enjoy reading, because all I felt was like I was constantly hungry, and all I felt was like I needed to eat. And by sending the thoughts to me, my body was just screaming at me and saying that it needed more food, it needed more nutrients. But I was silent, like I didn't respond to it, I didn't care, because I believed that I was being healthy, and if you eat more than X amount of calories that I established for myself, it's not healthy. And at some point, I just got so tired of constantly thinking about food and constantly feeling hungry that I started thinking about my past. I literally made myself remember how cheerful, how optimistic and positive I was. And I literally remember how me and my family went to the shopping mall, we did some shopping, and then we went to IKEA for lunch, and I always got to get the big portion of Swedish balls, the big portion of meatballs, and obviously after that we got the dessert as well. And at that point of time, I wasn't I was just eating it because it was tasty. Another thing I remember was when I went to the movies, obviously, as I already mentioned, I always got to sneak in so much fun food. Chips and pretzels and M&Ms, always the biggest package of M&Ms I always got when I went to see any movie, and I always finished it. And it was just one of the best memories that I've had during the time when I was going out to the movies. Also, I remember when the first Starbucks just opened in my city. I used to go with my friends, and I ordered the largest almond gingerbread latte and the biggest piece of cake. Usually it was carrot cake, and it was so much fun to just stay there and enjoy cake and enjoy conversation and not to think about how many calories did that cake have. I was also never obsessed about the gym. I was going to the gym a lot, probably 3 to 4 times a week, but I was never looking at it as an obsession because it was a healthy desire to exercise, to move. And I remember me and my mom used to go, and on the way back we stopped by the bakery, and about once in a couple of weeks we got the cake after, or we could get ice cream. And I wasn't thinking that I'm allowed to have this cake or I'm allowed to have ice cream just because I exercised and now I have this extra amount of calories that I can consume during the day because I burned so much during my workout. I wanted that cake, and I got the cake, and we bought cake and we had it, and I was never thinking about anything other than how tasty it was. So when I'm thinking about all those memories around food that I had when I was a child or when I was a teenager, I can feel that I was such a spontaneous and easygoing and free person, and this is the personality that I was missing. Finally, during these 2 years, I realized that it wasn't healthy for me to avoid sugar or to avoid white flour, to avoid carbs, and to try to eat as much protein as possible, or to try to avoid things that had so many unknown ingredients. What was healthy for me is to live the life and enjoy the life, to be connected, to be spontaneous, to be easygoing, to be able to join in, to be able to go and have a piece of cake, whether you worked out or you didn't work out, to go to the movie theaters and buy the biggest popcorn and the biggest bag of M&Ms or whatever your heart desires. That is what healthy was for me. And this is what healthy is right now for every single one of us. Our choice with regards to food is what makes us healthy. Because health at the end of the day is not only a physical thing. Of course, you don't want to binge on M&Ms 300 times a day, and you don't always want to eat pretzels or chips or popcorn and make them as your main meal of day, but you cannot eliminate this sort of foods too, because again, food it's not only about physical health, it's also about our mental health. And as I experienced myself, focusing on my physical health actually destroyed my mental health. I was so unhappy about life. I was so unhappy about how my body looked. I was so unhappy about my food choices. I was just a very unhappy person when I chose health over being free and spontaneous and relaxed around food and just in life. What helped me to go through this gray area of recovery was constantly thinking of these two people, my past self and my present self, and constantly comparing and identifying what was actually healthy, which lifestyle was healthy for me. Like, comparing those two people, I couldn't think that I was as healthy ever in my life than I was when I had this mouthful of M&Ms and sneaking in bags of chips and going out to Starbucks and getting a piece of carrot cake. I have never been more healthy than that girl. I have never felt healthier, happier, and more fulfilled in life than that past me, than that girl who used to get ice cream or cake after her workout and not thinking about any calories, any ingredients or component that food has, or burning off the excess amount of calories that you ate throughout the day. And when I went through that stage of orthorexia and when I went through this quasi-recovery or gray area of recovery, I thought that health is a strictly defined notion and there is only good or bad, healthy or unhealthy. I chose to follow those hideous rules of wellness industry that basically tell you from every single corner what you're supposed to eat, how much you're supposed to eat, how many times a day, how many calories you can consume, and how much time per day should you exercise. But what this wellness industry doesn't tell you is that if you follow their rules, you will not only sacrifice your physical health, you will sacrifice your mental health, and you will also sacrifice your whole life in order to be healthy and in order to be fit. And what helped me get my life back is remembering how that young, healthy girl used to live and how she used to behave around food. And little by little, abandoning one single rule at a time, I was able to let go of this whole wellness obsession. And I think that was one of the main things that helped me define my own way of healthy, because what they said was healthy actually was far from healthy. It made me sick, it made me physically sick, it made me mentally sick, it took away life from me, it took away joy and pleasure. When I caught myself on focusing on those healthy, safe rules again, I was refocusing on the things that made me feel alive, connected, easy and free. This journey of being in this gray area of recovery actually taught me that health is so much more than focusing on food. And now I know that avoiding sugar, avoiding white flour, not letting myself eat bread, and all those rules that I used to have made me so unhealthy that I would never want to go back to that person. Now when I think what is actually healthy for me, I think of bagels for breakfast every single morning. I think of homemade cookies and enjoying those cookies with tea on the balcony with my mom. Or I'm thinking of sharing a bag of pretzels with my boyfriend while I'm playing board games or video games and dipping them in hummus or salsa or whatever the heck you have. I'm thinking of going to the store or to the bakery and picking up some cakes and just having them right away in the car and going on with your day. I'm thinking about doing yoga or very gentle movement, maybe 3-4 times a week instead of obsessively working out in the gym. I'm thinking about making nachos with my boyfriend just because he loves it. And I don't mind having them. Like, it's fun experience to be able to make something with your favorite people and to enjoy it after with a glass of Coca-Cola. I'm thinking about inviting friends over and ordering pizzas and just joining in over a couple of drinks and again just socializing or playing board games. I'm thinking about going on random drives and hikes and picnics without thinking of what is safe for me to eat, without packing all the possible fruits that I have in the fridge, but instead picking up fun snacks. All these things and so much more are the things that fill my day with positivity. They help me connect with my favorite people. They help me breathe, create memories, and soak up every single moment of my life again. But most importantly, thinking about what is truly healthy for me helped me gain back this ease. It helped me be spontaneous and be very flexible about my day. So now when it comes to my food choices, I think of whether it's yummy or not, and if I want to eat it or if I don't want to eat it, instead of if I can eat it or if I cannot, and or how many calories it's going to have. And of course, whatever is healthy for me doesn't mean it is healthy for someone else. The best thing that we can do for ourselves is define our own way of healthy, because we only have one life, and how we live this life today, we are going to live it a year, 5 years, or 10 years from now on. So ask yourself how you want to live your life. Ask yourself what is truly healthy for you, because you know what is truly healthy for you. What makes you happy is healthy for you, and you should stick to what makes you happy. I hope that this video could inspire you a little bit to skip all those rules of the wellness industry that scream at us from everywhere, that how much we should exercise, what we should eat, like what ratio of macros should we consume. This is all lies. This is not. If someone else wants to live this way, that's up to them. You should live according to what makes you happy. If you want to know more how I let go of unnecessary stress around food, and how I stopped being so obsessed about food, and how I let go of my food restriction, check out these videos. And don't forget to subscribe. It does help to support my channel. And that being said, I hope you guys have a positive day, a positive week, and a positive life. And I will talk to you soon. Bye.